and welcome to another exciting episode of our Thursday Tech Talk webinar series. If you joined earlier, thank you for waiting for others to join. And if you just joined us, thank you for your time. My name is Chisomaga Alexandra Nkwopara. I'm a digital marketing associate at Ha-Shem Limited, and I'll be your moderator for this webinar. Today, our PowerApps and SharePoint developer, Victoria Erogunaiye, will be building a travel request app with Power Automate, PowerApps, and SharePoint List. We all know that traveling is beneficial to organizations to get new clients, branch into new markets, and so on. However, the approval process for requests can be long and full of delays. But today, Victoria is going to show us how to automate this process with Power Automate and create a workflow to handle approvals quickly. I promise it's going to be very insightful and worth your time. Before I hand over to her, please kindly mute your microphone while our speaker takes us through so we can have a smooth and seamless learning experience. And if you have any questions, kindly signify in the comment section or write it down and hold on to it until the Q&A session where we'll be addressing questions. Also note that the webinar is being recorded and we appreciate your permission to do so. The recording will be available to all attendees after the webinar is concluded on our YouTube page. Finally, you can keep up with us on our social media platforms, which I'll be sharing links to in the comment section. Please feel free to engage and connect with us on your preferred platform. Once again, thank you all so much for joining us today. Victoria, I'll be handing over to you now. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Chisom, and thank you, everyone, for joining this section. My name is Victoria Erogunaiye, and I'm a Power Platform SharePoint Developer at Ha-Shem Limited. Today, I'll be walking us through automating a travel request process using the Microsoft Power Platform. I would just go ahead to share my screen. Okay, so like I said, we are going to be automating travel request process using the Microsoft Power Platform. And the agenda we have for today is I'll give us a brief introduction of what the Microsoft Power Platform is, its components, why you should use the Microsoft Power Platform. Would run through a very short demo, and we'll have questions and answers. So the Microsoft Power Platform. Microsoft Power Platform is a low-code platform. I want us to take attention to the words. It's a low-code platform that enables organizations to analyze data, act on it through applications, and automate processes. It allows everyone from the professional developer to the frontline worker to participate in driving better business outcomes. Microsoft came up with a very wonderful and awesome platform for everyone to automate business processes, create business applications. And this platform is a low-code platform. The components of the Microsoft Power Platform includes Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Virtual Agents. I'll be explaining each shortly. First of all, let's go through the Power Apps. The Microsoft Power Apps is a platform that allows you to develop custom business applications with little or no code. You can quickly build apps, amazing user-friendly applications that can be used on both mobile devices and PCs. Hello. Okay, I'll go on. You can build applications that are user-friendly, amazing user-friendly your laptops. It can quickly integrate and interact with different services, connectors, and data sources within and outside the Office 365, now known as Microsoft 365. Some of the applications you can build includes a leave request app, an expense management app, and so many others. Which is the Microsoft Power Automate, which was formerly called Flow, is a tool that is used to help you automate processes that are repeated, processes that you do often, while focusing on more important things in the organization. By doing this, you'd save time and energy, as well as boosting business productivity. Some of the processes that you can automate can be approval workflows, just like the one we're going to look at today. You can also automate emails that sent to people. The next is the Microsoft Power BI. Power BI is an analytics tool that allows you to easily and quickly connect to different data sources. It allows you to create reports and dashboards and also gain insight into your data. This rich visualization of tool provides this rich visualization that this Power BI provides, it gives us a 360 view of what data we want to see at a particular time. It also helps us take decisions quickly. For example, an app you can build with the Power BI is a sales report. You want to see how effective your sales team has been working, sales deals they've closed and all that. You can do all that with the Power BI. The next is the Power Virtual Agent. And I'll just tell you that this is another fantastic platform that enables everyone to create bots, chat bots that everyone can engage with. Yes, a conversational chat bot. You can use the PVA, also known as the Power Virtual Agent, to create bots that can attend to customers' complaints and do a lot of things on your website and all. You don't need to necessarily know how to write code. Yeah, because the Power platform itself is a low code, no code platform. Just understand what you want to do and you're good to go. Why use the Power platform? From all I've said, we've noticed that because it is a low code, no code platform, the time we spend for developing each solutions isn't up to the time spent using some programming language. Stuffs have been done to help reduce time spent on development, increase productivity. Because you are not spending time on, I don't want to say unnecessary things, but less important things, you spend time on things that are more important to the company or organization, and you'd be able to do stuffs increased productivity. Your productivity level will increase, I tell you. Process automation. Repeated processes can also be automated. You don't need to start doing technology. They say makes work easier and faster. You don't need to start doing things by yourself all the time when you can automate those processes. You can build enterprise solutions, and with this same low code, no code approach, just anyone can use this Power Platform to automate their tasks. So the next thing is for us to see what it looks like to automate a process. So I'll be demoing a travel request solution. Most of us work in an organization where if you want to travel, you basically send emails and there are levels of approval. Your manager, first of all, approves, then probably HR approves. If it has to do with money, finance also have to approve and all that. So today we are going to be automating that process. I would just go ahead to show you what it looks like. First of all, I'll show you a demo, then I'll show you how to build something as simple as that. I don't know if anyone can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can
Yes,
see.
we can.
Yeah.
All right, this is a very simple travel request app. Very, very simple. And because I'm the one requesting for this request, my name is automatically filled. I can request on behalf of someone. For example, I'm the team lead and my teammates want to travel. So let's say I want to request for someone. I would include the person. It's not compulsory. I might not want to request for somebody. It might be I'm requesting for myself. So I don't need to include the traveler part. So I'll just do this. departure date, the day I want to travel. Let's say I want to travel on Friday, and I'll return on the 22nd of April. The request type, I can either choose is it a group request or just an individual. This case is going to be an individual because it's only Victoria Steve that is going to travel. Justification, let's say I want to attend one Microsoft event. Those days we used to travel for events, but now they are virtual. Say Microsoft Ignite 2021. Destination, let's say I'm going to Norway, and I might want to attach probably a flyer of the event or something that shows that I was invited for the event, and I submit. So my travel request was successfully completed. In most organizations, when users do that, they get emails, or the process is, oh, there's an approval. Somebody has to approve before you can leave. So I'm currently expecting an email that would show that, oh, your request has been submitted. And in this system, because I'm trying to do a demo to everyone, I'm the one that I set myself as the approver. So your approver can be anybody. It can be your team lead, it can be the HR, and there can be levels of approval. So this is the mail that just came in as an approval. Hello, Victoria Erogunaiye. Hello, Victoria Erogunaiye submitted a travel request. The traveler is Victoria Steve. Destination Norway. Departure date this, return date. Please take action. Regards. So I can decide to either approve or reject. But in this case, I'll approve. I can drop a comment, but I don't have any comment to type now, so I'll just submit, and that's it. Seamless and very simple. So I'm getting the mail because I was the one that requested. So, dear Victoria Erogunaiye, your travel request to Norway from this to this has been approved by Victoria Erogunaiye. So in this case, because I'm the same person requesting and the same person doing the approval, that's why my name is appearing twice. Safe travels. And that's how easy it is for us to handle automations of requests. So I would quickly show you how to create one. And this application I just demoed to us basically had three important components. The first one is a SharePoint list. So a SharePoint list is a data source. I'll put it like that. It is a data source where all our data, all our information are sent to. So I can decide to use anything. You can decide to use Excel. You can decide to use any data source. But in this case, we are going to use a SharePoint list. This is what the SharePoint list look like. And if I was going to show you how to create a list. So this is my SharePoint site. All I need to do is click here and create the list. A blank list. I had the name of, let's say this is travel request demo. I can add a description, but it's not compulsory. And I create. So I've created the list. So the next step is for you to decide what and what will be needed in the list. For example, I need the information of whoever is traveling. So we have different kinds of columns on SharePoint list, and these are the different types of column. For me to get the information, that's the name of the person that is traveling, I can use a person field to say, oh, I need to know the requester, or it can be employee, and I save it. Next thing is, oh, date and time, the date they want to go. So it can be departure date, and I save. Return date too is also needed for return dates and other informations. For example, if there are 3 or different levels of approval and the system needs to know who my line manager is, I can add a person field to say, oh, let this be line manager. Sorry. And another person to say HR and all that. So we have different kinds of SharePoint list. Then the next thing is, after you have settled with the list, next thing is to create your application. So you just go to make.powerapps.com. We have different types of applications. So we just create, in this case, we'll create a blank app and we'll use a tablet layout. So we can use either a phone layout if you want your, if you know most of the users of your application will be using their mobile device, you can use a phone layout. But in this case, we are going to use a tablet layout, and let's say our name of our app is going to be travel requests. Let's add demo to it so it differentiates and create. So it's going to take a process, a long process, kind of, if the internet is not bad. Yeah, so the first thing to do is connect our app to our data source. So you add data, and the type of data we are using is a SharePoint list. So when you just search here, you would see SharePoint. You can add different connections. All you need to do is just search for it. And I have a site where my list is, and the new list you created is travel request demo. Connect. So we're good to go with our data source. If you recall, the app we created had a form where users input whatever they wanted to, the information they wanted to input before submitting. So I just inserted a form, very simple. Choose the data source I want rather. You can customize the view of the form to look like anything you want. This is 3 columns. You can make it 2, we can make it 1. I'll make this one 2. And that's that. Make the form a new form. There's a label to also say this is, we can insert a label to say this is a travel request app. Customized to look beautiful. Visible to use, and can increase the font size to, let's say, 20. Yes. The next thing is to insert a button. We want users to be able to submit this form, and we'll need a button to. You can edit the text of the button to say it's a submit button. Sorry. Yes. And if you notice, we had another screen that was the success screen. So we insert a screen. You see the way it is very easy to just, you can either insert a blank screen, a scrollable screen, depends on the view you want to use. So in this case, we need a success screen. So we can edit the text to say your travel requests, what you want your users to see, your travel request has been successfully submitted. Yes. So what do you want to happen when users click on this button? What should happen? On select of that button, that's what we are going to set it. We'll say, oh, when users click on this button, submit whatever they filled. So submit form, the name of this form is form 1. So say, oh, when users click on this button, submit whatever is imputed here. And also you can set to say on the success of that form, or when this form is successfully submitted, let's navigate to that other screen, that's the success screen. And currently the name is screen 2. Navigate to screen 2. Even after you've navigated, I want it to be that when users also check this screen, they should, that after I've successfully submitted and I've seen the success screen, I should reset all the inputs that is there so that you'll be able to submit a new record, a new request. So I'll reset form 1. And PowerApps has been very, very useful because most times it suggests what you should do. And I also want it to be a new form. And you notice it automatically fills that bracket for me. And when I type the suggestion, if you see this form is starting with a small letter, but the actual name of the form is starting with a capital letter, so it suggests it for me. I don't need to start racking my head about what is not. So that's about that. What else do I want? So when users submit the form, all this, when the users clicks this, because we've connected this app to that data source, all the information imputed will go to the SharePoint list. On this success screen, I also probably want an icon that can take them back. So look for a cancel icon, drag it to this place. The size is looking kind of big. Okay, what do you want to happen when users click on the close icon? If you noticed on the previous one we created, on the previous one I demoed rather, when you click on that close button, it takes you back to the other screen. So it navigates the name of the screen 1. And yes, so our app is good to go. We just need to test. You click the play button. Let's say I want to travel. There's a travel request. You can give it any title you want. Requester. Oh, I am the one requesting. Victoria. Departure date. I'll be traveling tomorrow and I should return on Tuesday. Who is my line manager? In this case, let's say Victoria Steve is the line manager. You can impute anybody as your line manager. And if you have an attachment, I just want us to see the process and what it looks like. So if you have an attachment, you'd upload them and submit. So we have created our app and that's it. So the next process is, first of all, I want to show us what it looks like in the data source that's submitted. So Victoria's entry, this entry I just made, this request I just made has been submitted to the database. The next thing is to undo the approval part, and that's what Power Automate will do for you. The part that you send an email and all that. All you need to do is go to flow.microsoft.com, create a new flow. Oh, we have different kinds of flow, but in this case, you have flows that can run at a particular time. If you want your flow to run, let's say 12 noon every day, we have different kinds of flow, but in this case, we're using an automated cloud flow, and the flow will have a trigger. Our flow name should be travel request demo. So the trigger is what makes the flow start running. In this case, we want the flow to run when anyone submits a request. And when anyone submits a request, the request goes to the database, that's the SharePoint list. So when an item is created on SharePoint, would be our trigger. because we want the flow to run when an item is actually created on SharePoint. So create. And yes, you pick the particular site address, it's on communication site, your list name. So the list we created, if you remember, is travel request demo. Okay, so when an item is created, what do you want to happen? There was a part where a mail was sent to someone to say, oh, Victoria has submitted a list, kindly approve. That action is called an approval. So you add an action. We have different actions, different connectors on the Power Automate. But in this case, we are just going to use one of them, and that's the start and wait for an approval. So just search for it here. Start and wait for an approval. We have different types of approval. Is it an approval where you want everyone to approve, or first person to respond? In this case, we don't need everyone to respond, just one person to respond. If there are different levels of approval in the organization, you can create your flow in a way that it will tell you, oh, when this person has approved. Until the first level has approved, the second level cannot even get to see the request. So it's a travel request. Sorry. Who is it assigned to? In this case, you can assign it to, okay, assuming I wanted to assign it to the line manager, I just need to come and search in the dynamic content. Dynamic content in the sense that for every user or for everyone that submits a request, their entry might be different. That's why we have to search for dynamic content of that particular user. But in this case, I'm assigning it to myself because this is a demo. I'll just search for, I'll code it and search for myself, yes. And the details of the approval. So I can say, dear, oh, I want to address the person, whoever the person is approving. Let's say dear or hello. This is hello. A travel request has been submitted by, okay, we want to address this mail personally. We say a travel request has been submitted by who? For us to get that name for every user, we can search in this dynamic content and say requester display name. So a travel request has been submitted by, it's to fill it by itself. You can also add other details. Let's say want to add destination. I don't know if destination was included. Okay, it was not included. We can add return dates, actual date and all. So I just need to search because we have them on our columns and the user has filled it. Actual date. I need to search on the list to see, oh yes, there's a column for departure date. So it will fill it automatically by itself. I tell you, if you have to build this app with probably C# or all other programming language, it will take a long while. Return dates, I need to just search for return dates. And what else do I need to include? I can also include other information that I want, but I think this is fine. And I will just say, please take action. You can see if you want the requester to be able to, the approval should be able to view other things. You can add the item link to this start and wait for an approval. You can add the requester itself. So the requester is the requester that is making the request, yes. So requester email, and so this is this. The next action is, okay, what do you want to happen when this person approves? So first of all, we want to know if the person approved or rejects. Would use a condition to say if the outcome of that start and wait for an approval, so there's outcome here, is equal to approve, what should happen? So if it is equal to approve, yes, would want to notify the person that made the request. And a very easy way to notify the person is to send an email. So look for the send an email connector. And who do you want to send the email to? Add a dynamic content for everyone that has requested. So the requester email. Subject of the email can be travel request. You can also make it look better by saying assuming we added the leaf type to the SharePoint list. For example, the travel type, it can be a group, it can be a individual travel. Assuming we added it, you can just add it to the subject, or would say the destination, or you can add different information to the subject. Just search for them on dynamic content. The body of the mail. So we want to address the person we're sending the mail to. Say, dear requester, in display name. Your travel request has been approved. If you want to add the name of whoever approved it, you can just say your travel request has been approved by, come here to look for who approved it. So we have different contents, dynamic contents from the approval. You can see responses, approval ID, responses, approval name, and all that. So the person that the person that approved that request is the responses approval name. We'll add that. So it had to put it in and apply to each to say, oh, if the approver is more than one person, everyone that has approved, their name will be there. So your travel request has been approved by this. We wish you safe travels. And that's that about that. The next thing is, the condition when the person does not approve. That's when the outcome is not equal to approve. What should happen? We'll probably want to send an email to the same requester to say, oh, sorry, your request has been rejected. So the person making the request as the requester. Person's email. Subject can also be travel request. And content mail will be the request, the person that made the request. This person's name. Say, dear requester, ma, we are sorry to inform you that your travel request has been rejected by, can also add the person's name. Responses approval name. If there's any other information you want to add to this content of the mail, yeah, done. So the next thing is to save our flow. Yes, your flow is ready to go. Yeah, so we're going to go over to testing the app. Sorry. Yeah, I wanted to be sure of this. Yes, so we'll test the app again and we'll see the effect of the flow. So let's see. This is second travel request. So we'll be able to differentiate it from the first one. The requester, that's me. departure date, say I'll be going today and I'll return tomorrow. And I can decide to pick my line manager. So my line manager is Victoria Steve. And attach a file if I want, submit. So we'll check our list now to see if that, yes, the item was submitted. I was about to refresh. The item was submitted. Next thing is for us to get an email, and we'll wait for that. Yes, the email has arrived. So this is, if you can remember what we typed in the start and wait for an approval, this is the content. Hello, a travel request has been submitted by Victoria. The departure date, the return date, please take action. I can decide to approve or reject. So if I approve, I can add comments and submit. So Victoria does the requester gets a mail immediately to say your travel request has been approved. We wish you safe travels. We have come to the end of the demo, and I'll just go ahead to share my presentation. I would like to know if anyone has any question for me, but before then I'll say thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for joining the call. Like I said earlier, the Power Platform is a low code, no code platform that is very, very easy to, and you don't need to have, I don't want to say you don't need to have, yes, you don't need to have one serious background in technology. Yes, just know what you want to make, what you want to do, the process you want to automate, the levels of approval, what exactly you want to achieve, and I tell you, it is achievable. Once again, thank you very much, everyone. So we'll go over to the question and answer section.
Thank you so much, Victoria, for breaking down this topic in a simple but understanding way. So we have reached the Q&A session. If you have any questions, please signify by using the raised hand feature in the meeting window, and I'll call on you to ask your question, or you can simply type it in the comment section and I'll read it out to our speaker. So, okay. Okay, we have a comment from MJ. She says, very simple and time-saving approach to build an app. The Microsoft Power Platform is the way to go. Thank you very much, Ma.
Someone's hand is up.
Okay, we have someone's hand up. Sorry, hold on. Yes, you can unmute your mic and speak. Yes.
Good evening.
Ahmad, thank you.
Good evening. Thank you. I just want to ask if it's possible for us to get a recording for this section, because some of us, because of the fasting, we went to mocks and we missed some parts, but it's an interesting section. So we came in late. I don't know if we could get a recording for the section shared via our email. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Sure, the recording will be made available via our YouTube page, and it will also be shared here on this platform once the webinar is concluded. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Mr. Oyedele, are you still, you can unmute your mic and ask your question.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yes, my name is Oyedele from NEM Insurance PLC. Yeah, I really enjoyed this little presentation, and my question is, when she was creating the Power Apps, uh, is there any way where you can make the line manager automatically instead of typing the line manager's name? Because if you have different different user trying to fill and travel up, can you have a situation where the line manager will be automatically filled, and having at the back of your mind that we can have different users with different line managers? Is it possible?
All right. Thank you, Mr. Adele. So the answer to your question is it is very possible. Microsoft has something we call the Azure Active Directory. Once your Active Directory is formally set up and there's an hierarchy for every staff to say, oh, this person's line manager is this, and there's an hierarchy to show the organizational structure of an organization, it is very easy to get the line manager for every staff. So you don't need to pick it, like type it like you mentioned. It is very, very possible. I don't know if I've answered your question.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm satisfied.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you all very much. Victoria, Babatunde is saying this was beautifully well done. Awesome work.
Thank you.
Mr. Oyedele is asking if we have a training where we can do all the components in one. Mr. Oyedele, to answer your question, I think you have to get in touch with sales at Ha-Shem.com. I'll put the email in the comment section to you. Let me see, do we have any more raised hands? Okay, we have no, you can unmute your microphone and ask your question.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Thank you, Victoria, for your time. And let me just say for the other question, yeah, with Office 365, we can auto get the person's manager or the line manager automatically to the app. Either I think we'll work on PowerApps and also Power Automate. What I was asking, if possible, are you planning on doing more detailed functions in PowerApps, Victoria? Because I liked the ones that you use with navigate and reset form, and I don't know if you're planning to do any other webinar with more PowerApps development, because in my opinion, that's let me do an air quote, the hardest part from this presentation, because the Power Automate's information was almost drag and drop, not the same in PowerApps. You needed to enter a few lines of code, not that many, but a few ones. Thank you.
Thank you. Victoria.
Okay, so I would answer your question. The lines of code written in Power Apps, like you said, are not something like difficult. You just need to know what you want to do, and you might not, because you are new to the platform, you might not know the exact function to write. But as long as you know what to do, you would find out from Google and say, okay, if I want to reset a form, I want users to be able to see a new form and all that. It's something you can do your research on. So regarding the question of we wanting to do a detailed training, a detailed webinar, I think the sales team should be able to answer that question.
All right, let me help you with that, Victoria.
Yes, okay.
Let me help you. All right, thank you. I want to know if I have the right pronunciation of your name. No, is
yeah,
that
I'm sorry.
all right?
No worries. I'll mispronounce all of your names as well. So be my guest. Don't forget about the name. What I was asking, if you're planning on doing not that much development, because I know it will take a lot of your time and you're doing this for free. So I'm thankful for being here and it's a free presentation. But what I've been reading about the Power Platforms, and being that I'm not a coder or not a developer, I tend to struggle to how to get to the code, because I can go to the Microsoft support site and look at the codes available. That doesn't mean that I know when and what when to use them. So I was asking if you are planning to do this kind of presentations in the future, directly more with PowerApps, not only or just with the Automate and
all
just
of the
thinking.
components of the Power
Yeah, all
Platform.
of the Power Platform. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So very well. So we have the plan. Apart from us having a plan of what we're soon going to have an app in a day, which means it's going to be a whole day that is dedicated for everything on the Power Platform. One of the things we also decide to do during this period is also to have like a Power Platform series. So while you stay tuned to this webinar, while you continue, you also, okay, so Victoria has done something very basic today, and then someone else can come tomorrow. Maybe in our next webinar will be on another one that is a bit not for the basic or fundamental, might be something more let me say intermediate, and then you can look at that. So another thing we plan to do is also looking at all of the components of the Power Platform. We're actually going to touch it. So we have PowerApps with Automate. You can come. The next session might be for Power Virtual Agents. The next session can be for Power BI, where we can also show you all of that. So like I said, there is also the plan where we can have a day show that is just dedicated for the Power Platform. So where we take all of the components one after the other, and then we'll have different speakers also to take care of that. So we have that as a plan. But just stay tuned to the webinar. You can always get, I'm sure we have another one coming in the future that will be something else, or probably maybe more more detailed than this. So we have plans for that. So
thank you all. I
yes.
started to follow you all. I'll start to follow you in all of your social media. So
that is exactly what
at,
I just want to say. So just go ahead and follow us, and then you get notified. Thank you.
Okay. Again, thanks. Thank you so much for this.
Okay, thank you all so much. I think those are all the questions we have for today. Okay, so I believe we have now come to the end of the webinar. Thank you all so much for attending. I hope you all learned something new today. And today's session will be made available on our YouTube page. So please note that our next Power Platform series will hold on the 29th of April, and the topic is Advanced Data Visualizations with Power Apps. I hope to see you all there. Also, we'd like to hear from you. We'll also like to hear from you. So please fill the feedback form, which I will share in the comment section. Thank you all, and do have a lovely weekend.